Hi, I'm DJ with Kite Paddle Surf here in Bellingham, Washington, and I'm here today to talk about how to fit and how to wear and just kind of the basics of the waist harness. Right now in the industry, there's kind of two main types of waist harnesses. There's the soft style, like this Dazzled from Mystic. You know, you can see that I can compress it in pretty much all directions. These ones are kind of like the traditional style of harness that kiteboarding originally had, that kind of came out of windsurfing. They really contour to your body. They really kind of suck into your back, and they're soft. The downside is they don't offer as much support overall for your back, especially for big jumps. And for other people, the hard style harness, as you can see here, you know, what it really offers that I think is the most comfortable part of a hard harness is when a kite's overpowered or really pulling upwardly, it doesn't compress you as much, especially when it's tied in with a really nice spreader bar system that kind of tucks into the cummerbund of the harness. So in terms of fitting a harness, the first thing that you really want to do is actually measure your true waist size. And hopefully with this type of tape, and you know, you can start at either end. But really what you want to do is put it at your belly button and come up with the measurement. You can see I've done the high numbers, so it takes some math to do it, but usually I'm about a 30-inch waist. So in Mystic, that generally translates to a choice of two sizes. I could probably go with small, and especially if I went small and then maybe the 10-inch spreader bar, or I could go medium. That would probably give me a little more range to wear with wetsuits, thick wetsuits, or over vests, and then I could choose to maybe go with the 8 or the 10-inch spreader bar. And again, when we're wearing a kiting harness, it's not a pair of pants, so it does come up. A waist harness is really going to sit over and cover up our belly button. So initially putting on this medium, you can see it's very easy to put on. I have a ton of room in these straps to tighten, as long as I can get them tightening. But one thing you may see right away that you're seeing with me in this medium, especially with this larger spreader bar, you'll see that I'm pretty much going to use up all the strap. So I'd probably immediately say the medium's probably a little bit too big for me. But you can really tighten it down and see how you like the fit. Some people just like a bigger harness. If you wear a bigger harness, the harness may pivot a little bit, which some people like. I really like the harness to kind of tightly fit in place and stay where it's designed to stay. So here's the size small. The other thing you'll notice with the small is the back print is smaller. So again, that may be important for how you like the harness to fit with the back print size, whether you like it larger or smaller. Again, you can see immediately without having to tighten this guy down very much. I have room to go bigger or smaller, so it's a pretty good fit. Basically, you can see the spreader bar width that I'm looking for is basically about as wide as my body. And this is kind of a fixed loop guy. So again, even with very little tightening, it doesn't twist much, it doesn't move upward much. This is a great fit. So for me at about 30 inches, using the sizing chart, it did work pretty well with Mystic to go with size small. And this is the 10-inch spreader bar. This is my preferred harness. This is the Mystic Stealth. Overall, I think this is just the best harness on the market. Another good option though that a lot of people like, and they're generally a lot cheaper, but they're still very high performance and good to wear, is a soft fitting harness. This is the Mystic Dazzled. So I tighten the cummerbund. And with just a little bit of strap tightening, again, once you kind of dial in your size, you're going to see that it fits pretty quickly right away, right over that belly button. You know, on the sides, what you're looking for is the top of the harness to kind of sit at the bottom of the rib cage. The top of the hips should go right kind of under the bottom of the side of the harness. And again, if we see how it fits, it doesn't twist very much. And I didn't even have to tighten this down very much. It's just once you kind of dial in your size, and again, the spreader bar is basically my width. It's not too big, which will make the harness loose, and if it's too small, sometimes it can kind of create more pressure on your abdomen when you're riding, especially overpowered, or if that kite is pulling up high on jumps or as a beginner. With our harnesses, another thing that you have to consider is some basic harnesses like this Mystic Dazzled come with a basic spreader bar. So again, with the the high-end harnesses from both Ride Engine and Mystic, usually you're going to choose the type of spreader bar, the size of spreader bar, so you can really dial in the fit. This is the standard hook style from Mystic called the Stealth Kite. This is their free ride, and they also have a rope conversion kit or rope kit if you want it to slide. So if you have any questions, give us a call at Kite Paddle Surf at 360-775-2741. Email us or chat with us live, and give us a like to this video and subscribe. And we will have links to all this gear down below. Thank you again. Have a great day.